Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah. My dear student, greeting to you all. Today, inshallah, we will carry on with our English language lessons. My name is teacher Inas Al-Hdathi. So as you can see, these are the lessons for the third year, continuing education. Today, we will take the second lesson. The second lesson of our unit, Eid celebration. Remember, you can find this only at your second book. I hope you received your books by now from your schools. You can find number 4 at your books. Okay, you can find it. This is the first lesson or the first unit. It is called, as you can see, Eid celebration. Eid celebration. Make sure you have your books. Otherwise, you can go ahead and download an electronic book from Ain portable at Ain at your files. So let's introduce our lesson. In this lesson, as I told you girls before, or as I told you my student before, we will talk about Eid al-Adha. Second lesson is about Eid al-Adha, where we'll talk more about this occasion or about this holy occasion. This is the name of our unit, Eid celebration. Eid celebration. In the first lesson, we talked more about Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. How can we celebrate Eid al-Fitr, for example, by having a family gathering, by visiting relatives, give presents to kids. But today we will be focusing on Eid al-Adha, as it is different in somehow. Now, for Eid al-Adha, as you can see, we'll be covering the story of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, and his son, Prophet Ismail, peace be upon them. Okay, this is a very special story because it has been mentioned in the Holy Quran several times. So what I need you to do, my dear student, is, as you can see, during Al-Hajj, we do all these, the brief description of Al-Hajj, to commemorate their journey during Al-Hajj. As you can see, we have shave our head, a stone for Jamarat, the first, the second, and the third. This is to commemorate the family of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. We make tawaf, go to Mina, to Arafat, and so on. So this is a special story for Prophet Ibrahim and his son that we will talk about, as you can see in these verses. What I need you to do is listen to this holy praying or Quran. as you can see in these verses, we talked about the story of Prophet Ibrahim and his son Prophet Ismail. When he had this dream that he was supposed to go ahead and slay his son showed total obedience. Both of them showed total obedience to the willing of God, and they were about to do it when Allah Azza wa Jal sent a huge sheep as to show respect to Prophet Ibrahim. Now let's go ahead and read. As you can see, this is at page 14. I'll be dividing this. Let's focus on the first paragraph. Read and then answer the questions. You will have the questions at page 15. Eid al-Adha is one of the two holy celebrations for Muslims all over the world. It is the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, coming after the day of Arafat. Muslims celebrate it every year to commemorate the Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son Ismail, obeying Allah's command. Let's read again. Eid al-Adha is one of the two holy celebrations for Muslims all over the world. It is the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, coming after the day of Arafat. Muslims celebrate it every year to commemorate the Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son Ismail, obeying Allah's command. After performing Fajr prayer, Muslims wear new clothes and gather to perform Eid prayer at sunrise. Then, families start celebrating and slaughtering animals, sheep, goats, camels, or cows. The sacrificed animal is usually divided into thirds. 1/3 is eaten by the family, 1/3 is offered to neighbors and relatives, and the remaining is given to the poor. Muslims wish each other Eid Mubarak, which means have a blessed Eid. So let's read one more time, my dear student. Remember, these are what we normally do as Muslims during Eid al-Adha. After performing Fajr prayer, Muslims wear new clothes and gather to perform Eid prayer at sunrise. So as you can see, my dear student, I have some underlined word. I have new, sunrise, I have before, start, okay? Then families start celebrating and slaughtering animals. What are the animals? Sheep, goats, camels, or cows. The sacrificed animals is usually divided into thirds. 1/3 is eaten by family, 1/3 is offered to our neighbors and relatives, and the remaining is given to the poor. Muslims wish each other Eid Mubarak, which means have a blessed day, have a blessed Eid. Okay, and also I have here, what do we mean by the word commemorate, my dear student? Is to recall or show respect. So we are slaughtering animals to show respect, our deepest respect to Prophet Ibrahim when he showed his complete willingness. Now, as you can see, my dear student, here I have the word after. After is underlined, okay? Also, I have the word new. I have sunrise, start, and pour. I have 5 words, okay? Keep these words in mind, okay? I have again, after, new, sunrise, start, and pour. Now, I need you, my dear student, to help me to give the opposite. What do I mean by opposite, my dear student? For example, cold, warm. Okay, I have day, night. AM, PM. This is the opposite of a noun. For example, my dear student, look at these two bags. They have the same shape and the same size, right? But they are completely different, the opposite. The one to your left is an old bag. Very good. The one to your left is an old bag, while the one to your right is a new bag. Very good. So this is what we mean by opposite. Okay? Normally opposite nouns. Old, new. Very good. Next, as you can see here, I have sunrise, sunset. We have the word sunrise in the paragraph. People celebrate at the sunrise. The opposite is sunset. Very good. Now, here I have an ice cube. Before and after. Before and after. Very good, my dear student. Excellent. Next, I have these two pictures. The one man to your left is poor. He has no money. But the one to your right is rich. Poor, rich. Very good. And the last one here I have is start and finish. Start and finish. Now, my dear students, let's go ahead through the opposite one more time. I need to double check that you get the right meaning. We start with the first one. I have an old bag, a new bag. Old, new. Very good. Old and new. Next, I have sunrise, sunset. Sunrise, sunset. Very good. Next, I have before, after. Before, after. Very good. Also, I have poor man and a rich man. Poor and rich. Also, I have start and finish. For example, I have a starting line and finishing line. Very good, my dear student. So, here I have the same couch or the same sofa, right? Same shape, same size, but completely opposite. The one at the top is what? What do you think, my dear student? Is it an old one or a new one? Old or new? What do you think? The answer is very old. Very good. Excellent. So this is an old sofa. Old. How about the one below? What's the opposite? You are right. It is new. It is new. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. So I have an old sofa. I have a new sofa. Very good. Old and new. How about these two pictures, my dear student? What do I have? The sun. Sun. Excellent. Sunrise. Excellent. I have sunrise because it's going up. Second one, the sun is moving down because it's sunset. Very good, my dear student. So let's read again. Sunrise, sunset. Sunrise, sunset. Excellent. Now, as you can see, my dear student, I have these questions about the paragraph or the passage we just read about Eid al-Adha. Let's go ahead with the first. I will zoom in for the upper part. Mark right for the true sentences and wrong for the false ones. Okay? So, I will be reading the three statements or the three sentences for you, and I'll be giving you about 15 to 20 seconds. Try to answer them yourself. Right if the sentence is correct, and put wrong if the sentence is incorrect. Number one, there are 3 celebrations for Muslims every year. There are 3 celebrations for Muslims every year. Number 2, the sacrificed animal is usually divided into 4 parts. The sacrificed animal is usually divided into 4 parts. Number 3, Muslims sacrifice animals to recall or to show respect to Prophet Ibrahim's obedience to Allah. Now, I will give you 20 seconds. Try to answer these questions correctly. Okay, look for the answer in the passage, if it's right or if it's correct or incorrect. So what do you think, my dear students? For the first sentence, there are 3 celebrations for Muslims every year. Do we have 3 celebrations as Muslims? The answer is not correct. Very good. So where's the wrong statement? It is the word 3. So how many celebrations do we have, my dear student? I have Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. So how many celebrations? I have 2 celebrations. Very good. 2 celebrations. So the first sentence is incorrect. Number 2. The sacrificed animal is usually divided into 4 parts. So when we sacrifice a sheep or a camel, we divide it into 4 parts. What do you think? Correct? The answer is incorrect. Wrong. Very good. It's a false statement. Why is that? Because when we sacrifice an animal, we divide it into 3 parts. 3 parts. Very good, my dear student. We give 1 to a relative, 1 to a neighbor or a relative, 1 to the poor, and 1 we eat it as a family ourselves. So it is not correct. Number 3, Muslims sacrifice animals to recall Prophet Ibrahim's obedience to Allah. This is a correct sentence. Very good. It is a correct sentence or a true sentence, because this is why we sacrifice an animal, to show respect or to commemorate the memory of Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail. Now let's go to the lower part. From the underlined words, find the opposite of. So I have 5 words here, my dear student. I have old, rich, finish, sunset, and before. What do you think, my dear student? What's the opposite to each and every word of these? Try with the first one. What's the opposite of old? Okay, now look for the answer at the underlined word in the passage. I have 5 underlined words, right? So the opposite of old, as you can see here, I have after, new, sunrise, start, and pour. So what's the word that has the meaning, the opposite meaning of old? It is new. Very good, my dear students. So the opposite of new. Second one, I have rich. Rich man, poor man. Rich family, poor family. When we sacrifice an animal, we give it to a poor family or a poor neighbor. Very good, poor. So the opposite of rich is poor. Next one, I have finish. What do you think? Try to find it at the underlined words. I have sunrise, new, and start. Finish. Very good. Start. Excellent, my dear student. The opposite is start. Sunset. Sunset. What do you think? It is sunrise. Very good, my dear student. The answer is sunrise. Very good, very good. And the last one I have is before. The opposite is after. Very good, my dear student. Make sure you are writing the complete answers in your books at page 15. So old, new, rich, poor, finish, start, sunset, sunrise, before, after. Very good, my dear student. Let's go ahead and let's try to remember what we have learned in this lesson, my dear student. We give the one wonderful, touching story about Prophet Ibrahim and his complete willingness and obedience to Allah Azza wa Jal when he was about to sacrifice his own son because he saw a dream. Also, we talked some opposites for nouns. For example, new, old, or sorry, adjectives, before, after, start, finish, and so on. So that was my lesson, my dear student. Until I see you next time, stay safe. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.